This pyramid represents a way to look at broadband. At the bottom of the pyramid, at the foundational level, is accessibility. First, you have to have access to broadband in order to adopt. The infrastructure needs to be available to you. In the middle of the pyramid is adoption. This just means broadband needs to be affordable, and you have to have the necessary skills and training to use it, and you need to understand that it could be helpful to your life. Finally, at the top of the pyramid is utilization. This is really using e-solutions to increase productivity and competitiveness. It's to fully realize the potential of broadband. Broadband is a key resource to participating in the next economic shift. World-class broadband. If you look at communities around the globe, many have demonstrated a wide range of creative and innovative practices to develop broadband infrastructure. This range of activities can help inform Portland's process. The Dig Once policy, as exemplified in Mesa, Arizona and Santa Monica, California, anytime the city opens a trench, you drop in conduit for future use. Fiber to wireless sites. One community, a nonprofit in Northwest Ohio, is constructing fiber to wireless sites and leasing it out to industry. You can develop fiber incrementally, and in fact, this is how the city's Integrated Regional Network Enterprise, or ERNE, was developed. A pilot fiber to the home program. This is successfully demonstrated in Cleveland, Ohio, with the Case Western Reserve project. We will see a clip from this in just a few moments. Then there's fiber to the home. Stockholm has a fiber network infrastructure with over 40 providers delivering service over the platform. And Amsterdam has a public-private fiber to the home open access system. And New Zealand is actually developing a fiber to the home where the government takes the capital risk and local providers offer service and will pay back the government over time. So there are many different models that can help inform our process. The content of the plan, there are 5 overall goals. Attract innovative broadband-intensive business and institutions to create knowledge jobs in Portland. Eliminate gaps in broadband capacity, equity, access, and affordability. Create a tech-skilled population. 4, ensure that planning, sustainability, and development activities promote use and adoption of broadband technologies. And finally, create future-oriented broadband policy and institutionalize digital inclusion values. These 5 goals are going to be accomplished through 13 key strategies, with recommended actions identified for the short, medium, and long term. The first goal, make strategic investments in broadband infrastructure. The first strategy, prioritize capacity, big pipe. This really means to plan and incentivize very high bandwidth broadband deployment through clustering and co-locating very large capacity users and providing economic incentives to providers to serve these areas. Attract research and development. For this strategy, we would work with institutional partners, including the Oregon Health Sciences University, Portland State University, Portland Development Commission, and the state, and others, to attract at least one major research and development facility whose work requires very high-capacity broadband infrastructure and globally based research. A final strategy under Goal 1, we would partner with education, industry, and research organizations to encourage involvement in standards development and open architecture. And now here's a video clip from the Case Western Reserve project from Hessler Road.
Welcome to Hessler Road, a culturally rich neighborhood near the Case Western Reserve campus in Cleveland. It's one of the coldest winters in Cleveland history, but Pat and Peter Holland are staying warm in their Hessler Street home with the help of this new energy management technology. With the click of a mouse, the Hollands can see how their energy use compares with their next-door neighbors and what they can do to reduce their own consumption. An ongoing problem in urban neighborhoods is access to health care, and the Case Connection Zone is tackling it with technology. This resident can monitor her diabetes and check in with her doctor without worrying about transportation. And she can keep track of all her vitals through electronic home health records she shares with her doctor. Students have their very own health needs. Depression and anxiety are serious issues on college campuses. Working with the Case Connection Zone, students can now consult with college counselors over HD video conferencing. It's private, more intimate, and more accessible. Opportunities for improving access are endless. The Case Connection Zone can offer health and wellness activities to all demographics, including seniors and housebound patients. Leveraging gigabit broadband for the next generation. It's the driving force behind the Case Connection Zone. Collaborating with Surgical Theater, we're demonstrating next-generation surgical simulation for both medical education and remote consultations for patients. The bandwidth for networked surgical theater with real patient data is approaching the lightning speed of 1 gigabit a second. Finally, the Case Connection Zone is focusing on improving education. Faculty and students at Case Western Reserve University can interact in real time using gigabit bandwidth for multiple concurrent HD video streams. This cutting-edge technology is a platform for classes, community meetings, and support groups where each of the participants is in their own home.
So that gives you an idea of what we can accomplish with gigabit symmetrical broadband. Our second goal, eliminate broadband gaps, has strategies including establishing neighborhood broadband hubs where we would create high-capacity access points within neighborhoods, expand city capacity to address digital equity. We would do this through dedicated funding and staff resources and community partnerships. And finally, facilitate marketplace competition, advocate for and facilitate robust competition in Portland's broadband marketplace. And now we're going to hear from Lou Frederick, representative from Portland, on the importance of broadband.
Business, education, healthcare, housing, all of those things are in fact available primarily online these days. And if you don't have access to that online situation, you're in trouble. And a lot of the people that I represent are frankly in trouble.
Our third goal, create tech-skilled population, has strategies including create broadband centers of excellence. We'd create innovative alliances, partnerships, and incentives to develop advanced services and applications locally. Promote technical literacy and skills. We would leverage existing and support new investment in lifelong technology education and training. And finally, modernize and adopt telecommuting and remote work strategies and policies. Now we're going to hear from a couple of students about their view of broadband.
I imagine a future where high-speed internet-based applications help monitor the environment, optimize job growth and the economy, and let citizens of the world engage in cooperative international problem-solving on a regular basis.
I hope to see a future where offices are merely a figure of speech. In my future, people will be unhindered by the startup costs of infrastructure investments. There will come a day where information and ideas will flow freely, unfiltered and unencumbered by the barriers of distance and technology, where these barriers fade down to being almost invisible, when businesses are held accountable only to the standards of imagination and possibility. It is the inevitable progression of our society, and I hope this will be communication that becomes Portland's legacy.
Our fourth goal, plug broadband into all planning, sustainability, and development activities, including strategies of energizing a dynamic city technology culture, where we'd foster a change in the culture of city bureaus so that technology and broadband are used to their full potential. adopt information technology standards to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the buildings, streets, parks, and health services in the city. And finally, adopt regional public safety standards for wireless networks that incorporate public safety's needs for reliability and ubiquitous coverage, interoperability, and priority access. Our fifth goal, create future-oriented broadband policy and make digital inclusion part of civic DNA, has strategies including establish a regional task force on digital inclusion policy and advocate for legislation, regulation, and adoption of open network platforms and open data standards. Again, we'll hear from Lou Frederick on broadband.
We should be able to do a whole lot more in this city and in this community and get people ahead of things. I would like for us to jump ahead.
In the last few years, people have been talking about the Internet of Things. What they're really talking about is connecting everything: people, places, devices, and things. Here's a short clip that visually shows what that might look like.
The ideal day, I guess, would be that I wake up in the morning and my alarm clock went off at the right time because it had looked in my diary to know when my first meeting was and had backtracked which ferry I need to get and therefore what time I need to get up. The bathroom heater would have been on for half an hour before that time to make the bathroom nice and warm. And I'd know that the temperature had been freezing overnight and therefore that my ice was going to need to be scraped off my car, so I need to leave the house 5 minutes earlier. And then I'd be getting a notification, perhaps an audio announcement in my car as I drive to the ferry saying, oh, the ferries are running 5 minutes late, so no need to rush, just take your time. All that stuff is being handled by autonomic systems of little agents looking out on my behalf for the things it knows I want to do, just making me aware of what's going on so that I can plan my day accordingly.
The next steps: engagement. We will review and revise our draft strategic plan, and then the council work session and adoption. The U.S. is number 16th in broadband in the world. Portland doesn't have to be. We can jump ahead and create our broadband future.